Alright, so I wanted to bring this guy into Blender, and I figured I would just do a live stream because why not? So the main basis of this video is going to be how to do a turntable, because someone mentioned in my other Skillshare class, I didn't get as far as to doing a turntable, so I want to just show how to do a turntable in Blender, but of course I need to light it and make this look pretty first. Actually, I can probably show how to do a turntable first. Okay, so this is directly over from Nomad. All I did was take this and make it a little more matte. So I'm going to go, and there's a few more things that I want to do, like maybe make the eyes glossy and stuff like that. But once you get it how you want it, then you're going to want to do a turntable. Well, let me shade smooth these. Okay, so there's all these windows up here, so you can choose any window that you want. There's like shading window, texture paint. It can all get really confusing. I usually use layout, and for layout I just have one window, or animation, which I have two windows, and then I have these other things down here. But it can be really confusing, so maybe just stick with layout or animation. And if you want to make more windows, you just have to have this little crosshair and just move it over from any corner. You just move it over and then it makes a new window. And you can do that like across, you can do it down, and it makes all these new windows. And then you can change them to like whatever you need them to be. Now the difficult part is how to get rid of them. This is really annoying. So you have to go back to the corner of one of your windows, and you can only get rid of a window if it's the same size. So I have to go in the corner and pull it up. See how it kind of covers that? So now that window's gone. The only way to get rid of this, so I have two, is to go to this corner and then drag it over. Whoops, drag it over, and then it takes over that window. So like I wouldn't be able to close this. I'd have to like put this left and then like put this right and then bring it down. It's like the most annoying convoluted thing ever. Like they never just heard of like X or anyway. What's up, Ruby? Good to see you. Hope all is well. I'm like riffing on there's so many just things with Blender that just boggle my mind. Anyway, back to doing a turntable. So once you bring your sculpt in, usually what I do is I go here and then you can see I've made a new folder. So you can just do new collection. And let me get rid of this thing real quick. So these are all the parts that I brought in from Nomad, and I put them in a new collection called Monster 107. So this is all of these little parts, and they're all together, and you can go like that. So all you want to do is make an empty. So what an empty is like an empty box or an empty shape. It's kind of just a placeholder, and you can do a lot of things with it. So for example, let's think of an empty as a box, and we're going to put this 3D sculpt in this box. So now everything is contained in the box. We can just move the box around, or we can like turn the box in a 360, and everything in that box is just going to turn with it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make an empty, and then we'll just rotate the empty. So down here, you can see I have a few windows, and I usually just use the timeline. So if you click here, you can go to timeline, and then you have 1 through whatever it's going to be. I'm going to make it a little bit more, I suppose. Maybe I'll do like 240. So 1 through 240. So right now when I hit the space bar, that's like play, and nothing is playing. I mean, I have this box because I have this built into this background, so I can just use it, but I'm going to use one from scratch. Let's go ahead and hide that one. So when you press spacebar, nothing's happening because there's no empty. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this character and hit Shift A. Shift A brings up this, and right here is empty, and I'll make an empty cube, and then I'll hit S to resize it. So I just hit S on the keyboard, and then you can just move it and make it as big or small as you want. I'm going to hit 1 to make sure I'm looking straight at our monster. Okay, so you can just move the box around, or the empty around. And it doesn't really matter where it is. Like, it's going to be, we're going to link it to this thing, so it doesn't actually have to like surround him completely. It doesn't really matter how big or small it is. If it's connected to the box, it's going to do all the things that you point the box to do. But I always like to make it around the same size, just for funsies. Okay, so now we have our box empty. And we have it right here. And I like to hit 0. I actually don't know if in the settings somewhere I can change it so that all of the names aren't connected to being in alphabetical order. Because sometimes I find that annoying. Anyway, I'm going to put box turntable. Okay, and I put the 0 in front so it goes to the top because I just feel that that's easier. What's up, Rock? Hope you guys are doing well. Appreciate it. Appreciate you swinging by. I've been trying to do more streams lately. Udima. Appreciate you swinging through. I'm loving I'm a huge emoji guy, so I'm loving all the emojis. It's very rare that I send a text or an email that doesn't have any emojis. I think I'm just like too much of a expressive person in that way. I'm quiet in real life. I'm really reserved and quiet in real life. But you send me an email, I'm adding all of the emojis that I can fit in there. Not really that much, but I just feel like it just tells the story better. It tells the story way better. So I keep hitting 1 so that I'm looking at the orthographic view like straight on. Obviously I can move it like all around, but usually 1 is my go-to, or 0. 0 is just like zero's the camera view, but we'll go with 1. Okay, so we have our box, we have our shapes. I'm definitely going to have to download this and edit it into a proper tutorial because I'm just like going off the hinges. So body, I'm going to hit shift and just select all of these. And then I'm going to hit control. And the last thing I select is the box turntable. It's going to be a lighter orange than the other one. You could, of course, click on all of the individual shapes and then you can click on the box, but that can be a little tricky because you miss and then you have to do it all over again. So once it's like this, once the box is in the lighter orange, you can hit Control P for parent. And I'm going to do, I think I can just do object. I don't think I have to do, sometimes I do the inverse when I'm doing certain animation things. I don't really know all the technicalities, but sometimes I need to do the, like, I'm not even going to go into it. Anyway, so we set the parent, we set all the shapes, so now the box is now the parent. So now the box is selected, so if I move that, like I said, he's in the box. Oh, good. Sometimes I do my streams and I don't even check the sound or anything. Terrible. Oh, you were in an ad. Oh, I just said, what's up, Rock? Yeah, those ads. Which I can't complain because, although YouTube, I don't really get, like, YouTube doesn't really pay that much. But then again, I don't really get that many plays. I'm not that algorithmic. So, I'll take what I can get, but I actually pay for YouTube Premium since I watch YouTube so much. So I pay for YouTube Premium. So I actually haven't seen an YouTube ad in like years. Okay, so So now, like I was saying, like I made another window down here. And of course, if you needed to do that again, just go to find the little crosshair and just like drag it down or drag it over. So we need to be in timeline, and then we can go up to the rotation. And if you don't see this here, sometimes it can be like over in this little wall here. There might be a little arrow. You can press that. You can press item and then Z. So right now we're at the first frame and we have Z here, and that's what we want. So we want the first frame to be 0. Wait, do we want it to be facing forward? Yeah. So I'm going to hit I. When you're over this and you hit I, it sets a keyframe. So that's the first keyframe. So that's telling the box that at frame number 1, we want the Z-axis. I mean, actually it selected all of them, but we want the Z-axis to be on 0. So this is, you can see, this is what the Z-axis does. It turns it turntable-y. So that's what we want. So now we can go to the last frame. So you can do it this way, or you can hit this little thing, and it goes to the last frame. So now you see these are green because we haven't set a keyframe for that. So we need to change this keyframe to 360. So we'll just tap on it, and then we'll just do 360, like so. We'll hit enter, and then it fakes you out. It's orange, but it hasn't done the keyframe. So you need to float over it, and then hit I. And when it's yellow, then you have the keyframe. So another thing that I always do is I take the keyframe and I move it. Make sure you just have the last one selected and not both. Sometimes it selects them both. So make sure you have that keyframe selected, and then I drag it over one keyframe to 241. So that way this last keyframe is going to match up with the first keyframe, and it will just rotate, and it won't. Otherwise, there'll be a stutter step because frame 1 and frame 360 will be the same, so it'll be like a stutter. So I just do 361, and then there's no stutter. So now when I do it, that might be too slow. Is that too slow? No, I think that's pretty good, actually. Sometimes I like to speed up the back part, though. Alright, so maybe I'll bring this down to like 191. Let's put this to 191. So instead of 241, I'm just putting it to 191, so that's less frames, so it'll move faster because there's less frames. It's not bad. MC in the house. Oh, I am mirrored, aren't I? Why is that? Oh, man. So essentially that means that that I don't think this tutorial is going to really work. Well, that's okay. I'll do another. I'll do an actual tutorial. I'll do a better one than this. All right, let me figure out how I can do this. Shout out to MC. Flip. Oh, you know what I can do? I can probably just flip the video. I can probably just edit this and I'll flip it in the video, and then I'll flip it back. It's always something. It's always something with technology, isn't it? Appreciate it. And happy birthday, I think. You know, for years and years and years, I feel like I've had some issue with the correct birthday date. So I feel like I'm never quite sure when your birthday is, but I'm going to say happy birthday anyway. Okay. You know what's funny? I didn't even... I didn't even realize that it was like backwards. That just goes to show how much I check out my stream. But then again, it is really small. The little window here. You and me both, Rock. You and me both. I was super confused. Okay, so that's the mirror. The only thing that I might want to fiddle with is I have another little window over here. I'm gonna open up the graph editor. Man, the graph editor, I mean, I don't really, I'm just starting to like fool around with it. It's just so hard to manage. But the graph editor is kind of like a convoluted way to do like keyframe curves. Like they have it really streamlined in like the little like CapCut and all those kind of things. I use InShot. They have it really streamlined to where it's not confusing. But here there's like so many options that it can be confusing. So essentially this is the curve. And if I wanted to spin faster and see, it's like moving this red thing. I don't want this red thing to move. What are we doing, bro? No. Okay, so maybe I can select Z. This is where it gets confusing. Because I want to just move the Z axis, but I don't really know how to get to it. I kind of do, but view. Only selected free. Only selected free. I don't know why I can't say keyframe. But anyway, essentially, I want to be able to take these keyframes, which I can't see. I know there's a way to do it though. Oh, that helps. I want to just take Z, so let me turn these off. Maybe I can take this one. Now they're gone. Perfect. Okay, so I want to take this one, and I think if I make this straighter, it'll make it a little faster during the back portion of the turntable. Because, like, you know, not that many people are like really want to look at the back so much. Let's see what I just did. There you go. It's slow. Oh, it's still like the same though. All right, what did I do? Let's try this. Let's try stretching it out some more. All right, let's try that. Slow. Ah, but then you see, it's like, it's not like smooth, bro. I don't know how to get it like perfectly smooth. Like, I don't want it to go that slow. Like, what are we doing? All right, let's see what we got. Oh, now the ending is just stupid slow. All right, let's try this. Okay, that's not bad. Let me see if I want it faster. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's go maybe 160. We'll go at 171. I think we'll keep it there. Seriously, no time for mirroring. Actually, before I did this, before I got on the stream, I was trying to figure out. I bought this freaking Cal Digit Thunderbolt dock, and it's annoying because I can't have. For some reason, I realized I have two. What are they called? Capture cards. I have two capture cards. One's an Elgato. One's like a $30 USB one. The Elgato one doesn't work with the freaking Cal Digit thing. And that one was like $100. I mean, I got it a while ago, but so now when I do that, I have to like plug it in. I have to like switch when I want to do like live streaming with the phone, because I have that HDMI going into a different capture card, so now I have to switch them both. And apparently when you switch them both, it switches it, it mirrors the screen and makes you look like a dum-dum. Okay, so what else did I want to do with this thing? What time is it? It's 1:19. I got a little bit more. I'm going to try to go to bed not too late tonight. If you scale the graph, yeah. The thing is like, oh, you know what? I guess I should probably do it so like the graph editor is like a big window. That would probably be easier. But like a dum-dum, I just usually work in this little this little tiny window. What's up, Beep? The orange guy. I wonder which orange guy. Very glad to hear that. I love that's one of my favorite things when people just jump in and they're like doing these tutorials. I'm so glad, because it sucks when you want to, like, even for me with Blender, it's like you try to jump into Blender and the tutorials are so difficult. They just assume that people know so much. So I'm glad when people hop on and they can easily follow the tutorials. Also, I just noticed that Nomad Sculpt is on 2.0 today. So now it's like every week it's like a new version. So, but that's fine. I'm just going to do another crash course. I'll do another crash course with each new version. But it's crazy how quickly the versions are coming out. Oh, what did I just do? Stupid. Okay, so now what I want to do is I gotta do something with the lighting. The lighting is not great. So first, let's turn off the world. And see what we got. Let's see what lights we got. So we got the back wall. I always love a dark scene. I like white, but there's something about a dark scene. I don't know if it's my personality or what. I'm trying to get to know about capture cards. Capture cards they're really easy. Beep did the ghost as well. Capture cards they're really easy. They're really simple. Like I'm gonna get the regular no frills USB capture card again from Amazon. I'm pretty sure it was like $30. I got it like a few years ago when I started streaming. But yeah, you just plug the HDMI into it and you're good to go. The problem is like for me is I have one coming from my phone, which is above my iPad, and then I have another one coming from my computer. So I had like two capture cards, and they're still like USB. Like it'd probably be easier if they had like USB-C capture cards, but I don't know if they have that yet. All right. I like the dark scene, but I do like the white. Let me I should do a white version and a dark version. I have to get used to doing that. Why do I feel like here we go. But you know what's important to do with the white version is make sure that the color profile is where you want it to be. Because I noticed that with the color profile, sometimes things can look really washed out in Blender. Oh, and another thing I have to do, let me make sure I turn these on. These are, wait a minute, are these? What am I looking for? Oh, yeah, so this little thing slides when you move the scroll wheel. So sometimes you can forget that things are there. So these are like the details. So I want these details in this window. I don't have them in this because this is just my camera view on the left. but we definitely want to see all of these. And for now, I think I'm going to make this light white. So I'm going to go into my light settings and just turn the saturation down and just keep it white for now. That's the first thing. Oh, you know what else I need to do? Let's go in and take a look at this. So you can see that smooth shading is not on for these, which I'm not sure why. It could be because when I exported it from Nomad, I didn't check the little thing for export normals. Usually it's smooth, but it looks like it's definitely not. So I'll just right click. Wait a minute. Am I in edit mode? No, I'm not. So I'm going to click on it and then do shade smooth, and then it should be smooth. And it looks like I have to do it for all of these tings. I'm going to make sure I get stuff like the nails. You can also see that the nails are not touching, so I need to bring the foot down a little bit. Actually, are the toes touching? I can't tell if it looks like the toes are touching, but I can bring them down a little bit. So the easiest thing would be to just take the box. Let's go in Toit and just move this down. Ugh, it always moves like so much. I can take the item over here. Okay, so we just want that to be flat, like so. Perfect. Also, let me just save. I'll save this as. I'll change this to Monster 107. Save. Sanrio. I actually don't even know what Sanrio is. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Manga? Yes, my only thing, if you're starting out, just make sure to keep things as simple as possible. It's really easy to want to jump into more complex characters, and it can be very difficult. So give it a shot. But if it gets too confusing, just understand that it's normal. It just takes some time to it takes some time to be able to troubleshoot everything with Nomad. That's the main thing, is like needing something or something going wrong and not knowing how to troubleshoot it. That's what, just like time and experience, you kind of learn. And as you can see, Nomad Sculpt's on 2.0 now. Every week there's like an update. So there's like things that are different. What's up, David? Hi, Dave. I'm a big fan of your work. It's inspired me to start learning. Do you have any advice for beginners on staying motivated to continue learning and making art as someone with a demanding 9-to-5? Well, I just quit my 9-to-5 last year, 2024. So before that, I was doing like live streams and things like that and still making content, but it's just difficult. The only thing that I can say is, or the only thing that helped me in my particular situation was the fact that I could bring my iPad, and if I had downtime, or if I was traveling, or if I was any time that I was not working and I was away, it was just great to have the iPad so I could just work. That's pretty much how I learned. I would be at work, and any downtime I got, I was creating something in Nomad. The more you can create, the better. So you just have to find ways to carve out time, even if it's something really small. It's really just finding the time for it. But yeah, I mean that's tough. I feel you. I even I have trouble doing stuff now because there's just number one, there's still life happening, obviously all that stuff, but it's I edit so much. Literally most of my time is editing. If I record something for 2 hours, then I have to edit it, and then I have to edit it again to do the time lapse, and then I have to edit it again for the mobile time lapse, and then I have to bring it to my phone and edit it on my phone to make sure that all the bells and whistles are there. Like everything is editing, so you know it's tough. Oh, Sanrio. Oh yeah, that's okay. That's how I know the name. Hello Kitty. All right. So we have that. I think everything else is like pretty good. I don't really need to do that much, to be honest with you, except for change some of these textures. I can't remember what I was. Oh, I was doing lighting, wasn't I? Let's go into the shader editor and let's, for these horns, let's up the roughness. And maybe we'll change the subsurface so you can see through it a little bit. I feel like horns are kind of cool that way. We'll up the scale a little bit. Probably won't be able to see much now, but that's fine. The eyelashes, these are always completely black. I'm going to turn specular down so that there's no light bounce off of them. I just want them to be completely black. I'm going to shade smooth everything that I see because I need things to be smooth. But I think that's it. I think we did the body and we did the nose. Okay. All right, so let's add ambient occlusion. Ambient occlusion. We'll add diffuse so I can color it. We'll add color ramp. So we'll add that here, and then we'll add mix shader. So we'll do that here. So now the color goes into the factor. I usually have to switch these two. I'm going to take all of these and Control C so I can bring those into some other things if I need. Well, I will, since I forgot I'm on the horns. Okay. So I'm going to bring the mix shader down here. That'll make the horns darker, which is fine. Let's bring this closer. So now this mix shader, I don't even need this anymore, I don't think. Of course I make a new window instead. Okay, so now the mix shader has these little nodies. So we'll take the color and put it here, I think. I'm like blanking. If you don't, that's one thing, if you don't work in Blender a lot, you just forget everything. So now I can control the ambient occlusion, which is like that like environment light. So I'll do it to about there. But I'm gonna plug in this diffuse, which is gonna affect the color. So I wanna do like a brownish, yellowish color. So now I can adjust this a little more, and it's not gonna be black. We don't really want it black. Okay, so now we'll do it with this guy. So I click on him, and I should probably name the materials. This is pink ice cream, and this is white ice cream. Okay, so this, I can just do Control V, and then start that process again, bring the color over. See how that's super dark? Too dark. Okay, that's good. But I want to change the color of it. Not white. So we'll change this to a nice reddish color. Whoop. Went away there. Yeah, 100% just practice. Practice simple things. I think I want to do a video with I'll probably do it for YouTube. I want to do like a practice sheet. Making simple things, because it's like making I think I want to do making a triangle, making a like a pile of ice cream or poop or something like that, like a little swirl. I would do a pretzel, but that's a little bit difficult. But like a triangle, a swirl, maybe like an arch or something like that. Like these simple things that are just very difficult because they get a bit technical. But I'll probably do something like that too, just as like a challenge for all us the sculptors out there. And it's like one of those things. It's like if you need to just make a triangle, like a clean triangle, like it's very easy if you just know how to do it. If you don't, it's a nightmare. You're like making a box and cutting it in half, and it's just not good. Okay, so I think that looks good. Let's do the same thing with the body. So we'll do Control V. We'll bring this down. We'll bring the color over. And now we'll just adjust. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Again, I don't really know nodes that well, but I do know ambient occlusion because I use it all the time. It's my favorite. Let's bring that up a little bit. We'll bring this back. Looks good. And then we'll plug in that diffuse, and then we'll make it like a lighter, better color. Like so. I think that looks nice. Okay, I'm going to do it with the eyes. Actually, I can probably use... No, I'll do it separately with the eyes. So I'll bring that in, bring this over, adjust as needed. And yep, we'll set up the diffuse as well. We'll just make it a little bit of a warm tone, warm color. And this is actually... Oh wait, this is pink ice cream? Wait a minute. This is not... This is pink ice cream. I must have not clicked on the right thing. Okay, so let's go back to the eye. And this will be eye whites. We'll go to this. This one is pink ice cream. Okay, so this is eye whites. So the teeth can be the same as the eye whites, I think. The nose can be the same as pink ice cream. So the nose can be the same, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to hit this little thing, make pink ice cream 1, and do I want to change it? Just let me get rid of this and change it. I think I want it a similar color, but I think I might want it a little darker. Maybe I'll just leave it. I'll just undo. Sometimes I get crazy. I gotta tell myself to just chill. I feel like this needs a little more roughness. Okay, let's go back to our camera view. Oh, that's what I was saying before too. I wanted to go to the camera options. So we go to little camera here. I think we go down. I don't know why I'm saying down in a southern accent. I need help. I wanted to do, I think maybe tomorrow I'll do Monster 108. Okay, if we go down here, view transform Chronos. Let's see what it looks like. We have Chronos. Let's go big time. Okay, so that's Chronos, but of course we don't remember what the other one looked like, so let's go down. Was it color management? Yeah. We'll go back to standard. You can see it's like a bit washed out. It doesn't look too bad though. So we have Chronos, then we have AGX, whatever that is. It looks terrible. I'm sure that could look cool in some aspects. Looks like it very desaturated. You have Filmic, which is very light. Oh, you know what else I was doing? Let's leave this back to standard. Let's see if we go to look. We can do medium high contrast. Oh, I think that looks better, baby. Why does it look like my viewport is not... What is my viewport? Well, let's do 300 for the viewport. I feel like it's very granular for some reason. I don't think I want to denoise. Oh, actually that looks kind of nice. Denoised. I don't usually use the denoise, if I'm being honest. Okay, I don't think I'm going to do any textures. I was thinking about maybe doing some fur, but I think I'll save that for another day. Oh, my poor back. You can see I'm like leaned back. It's a bit more comfortable. It's a bit uncomfortable, but it's a bit more comfortable than regular. I'm still getting stabbed by my freaking desk. I need a proper desk situation. It's really poor. All right, back to Blender. So let's go up. So we have back wall. Kind of looks nice. Kind of looks nice gray. Kind of looks nice gray. But we'll keep it white for now. The floor should already have all of those things that we were just doing. The floor should already have them. Yes, it does. There's no diffuse on the floor, but I think that's okay. Oh yes, here it is. Here's the diffuse. And you know, maybe we'll change this to sort of match that pinkish color. So it looks like it's more of the light bouncing off of him on the ground. And another thing that I want to do is, I don't know why I start talking weird sometimes. Okay, this light is a little bright. I think I want to turn it down a little bit, maybe like 800. Oh, Chewy package is on the way. Cool. I like that. I want to get some light in the eyes, so I need to check multiple importance is what you want. And it's a little faded, so I think I might put this back to 180, which makes it crisp. I do like the crisp. It also softens up the light. When it's at 90, the light is a little more harsh. Okay, so let's make this smaller. Let's make this bigger. And just see what we have. If I move the light around. Okay, we definitely want to get a little bit of one side going. But now that we've moved it, you can see that it's not as bright, which is fine. We'll just have to make the light a little brighter. Let's try 400. That's bright. We'll try 200. 200 looks good. It looks kind of natural. He can be a little bit more brighter on this side. I think overall we can probably make him a little more bright. Let's make sure we don't want to do it in the world. I think I like it. So top down, I'm going to make this a little brighter, maybe 250. So there's a little bit more brightness on this side. I just want to be able to see that difference. The only problem is these horns are very reflective. Don't really like that. What's up, Moonlight? Thanks for swinging through. I appreciate it. Hope all is well. This might be good for the white version. Oh, yeah, let me just see. Oh, you know what I can do with this? I can probably turn the specular down a little bit on this, so it's not so reflective. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the roughness. I guess I can make it a little more rough. I think it's the specular. Let's bring that down a little bit. Okay, and you know what I used to put in all of them? I used to put my fruit pudgies. I need to get back to that. I don't know why I stopped putting them in my, I stopped adding them for some reason. Like my little calling card. To turn the light off though. Let's see. I might not keep it, but I want to put him in there. Anyway. Body, let's turn the emission off, which is why he's glowing. I don't mind a little glow, but I don't think he needs it in this one. And let's take the light and turn that off. Are these not connected? They're supposed to be connected. Parent, keep transform. Oh, I think I did it the wrong way. Parent, keep transform. Oh, I get it. It can't be hidden and set the parent, apparently. There we go. So now they're together. So now I can go in here and turn the light off, but it's still going to be together with this. So I'll move this here for now. And I'll figure out what I want to do with it later. I might want to make it a similar color. See if I can just match it freestyle. I don't know why, I always like matching colors freestyle. It's like a little bit of a challenge or something. I don't know why I do that, but I always do. It needs to be a little more rough. Okay. Okay, I think he looks pretty good. Let's do a quick save and then let's render one out. Or first let me make sure everything is on that's supposed to be on and off that's supposed to be off. I didn't even check out my edge lights. Sometimes the edge lights are really cool and they kind of give it a nice, that's actually kind of nice. With the white there, that's kind of nice too. My eyes are so dry. I kind of like this one, but I don't know if I want it blue. And I also don't know, oh, here it is. So let's bring you over. We got to figure out how to make this thing work. So I'm going to turn it towards him, and I'm going to change the spread to like 50. So that's going to make it pretty harsh, but it should give me a little more leeway with the freaking the reflection, which I don't want in the shot. That's the tricky part. I kind of want it to be here, like a nice edge light, but then I don't want that stupid reflection. And maybe I can bring these back some. That might help me if I can back. Oh no, that doesn't help at all. It doesn't help in the least. What if I focus it up a little bit? Oh, there we go. So if I rotate it up, that kind of helps me a bit. Stop telling me to stand. I probably should stand. What's up, Creative? I appreciate the kind words. What's up, Bjorn? Can you sculpt the same quality like in Nomad and Blender? If yes, what's the advantages for choosing this or that software? I would say what are the advantages? The advantages of using Nomad is the fact that Nomad is like traditional drawing or painting or anything where you're using like anything sort of traditional based or like even digital painting. It's like Procreate. You're using an iPad so you can kind of see, you can use your hands easier. You can sort of draw sort of like you would be drawing in Procreate. And also, it's far less complex than Blender. Blender is like an F1 race car, whereas like Nomad is like an electric scooter. So it's way easier to handle. It's way easier to bring with you wherever you want to go. It's way easier to just kind of do fun stuff and experiment and learn. And Blender's like an F1 car. So it's like you're not just going to be able to pick it up in a day or a week or a year, most likely. And even longer than that if you're going to be good at it. Yes, you can technically sculpt the same things, but in drastically different ways. If I wanted to sculpt something like this in Blender, I'd probably, it wouldn't be as fun because I don't like drawing or creating with a mouse and keyboard in that way, like in a flow state way. And also, yeah, it's just, so that's the advantages for me. So like I can make something like this in Nomad. I learned Nomad in 2021. It was my first time using it. And I can bring it into Blender, but Blender also makes my brain absolutely melt. It's amazing software, and it's also horrible, terrible, and not user-friendly. Like, horrifically not user-friendly. It's actually a bit insane. Let me bring this down to 400. It's a little bright on that side, and I feel like it's going to be too bright. Maybe I'll do 200. That might be better. Okay, so let me save this, and let's see what a render looks like. So we are at 300, so that's not too bad. Let's just see how it looks. This shouldn't be too long. Oh, I didn't do the focus. I was supposed to set the focus too. What time is it? 1:53? Oy. Oh, it's not too bad. It's not too terrible. Let's go into the composite. And let's go into the render and open a new window and do compositor. Let's use these nodes and see what happens. Okay, fog glow usually doesn't do enough for me. If I bring the threshold down, I guess it still looks, it looks decent. I want to see if I can get it clearer. So in order to do that, first I have to check out the, I think I have, oh, there's the focus ring. Okay. So I need to go with the camera. The same way that I did the turntable with the box, you can also make like rings and other shapes as empties, and you can use them as focus points. So right now I'm just moving this ring, or this, this ring that I'm using as a focus point. And I'm just using it. Wait, why are you being a complete butt monkey? So I'm going to move this ring to the eyes, so that way the eyes are going to be clear. But I also need to go to the camera, and just like with a regular camera, you go to the camera settings, you turn on depth of field. I don't usually work with this like denoise. It makes me a bit uneasy. Like in the viewport, I never usually work with denoise. It looks clear. It looks quite clear. So the back wall, I can probably actually bring this back up to 1,000. Maybe even like 1,500. Just make it super bright. If it's going to be a white version, then I feel like it should be bright. All right. I don't think we want. Oh, you know what? I didn't have that edge. I didn't have that selected, didn't I? That's silly. All right. So we have that. We have that. Is there anything else that I wanted to do beforehand? I don't think so. Let's render this second image. So we should have that nice edge on the right side whenever it decides to open up. Okay, that's nice. Not bad. It's a little bright, but I think it's not too terrible. Just this that's very bright. And I wonder if it's because of the subsurface. Where you at? Where you at, bro? I wonder. Looks the same. So I'll keep it how it is. And maybe I'll just make it a little more rough. Also, I want to try doing the output at 200 just to see if I can get a clearer image. And no, you can't get the same quality with Nomad. There's like all these weird things like ray tracing and render engines. So like Cycles is a render engine, and it makes things look really realistic because it like simulates all the correct like lighting and light bounces and reflections and refractions and like all of that stuff. Nomad does a pretty good job at some of those things, but not all of those things. It's not capable of doing all of those things. So Blender has the heavy edge when it comes to that kind of stuff. And of course you can like, there's just like tons of other things you can do in Blender, but Blender's been like, Blender's like a more complex system. You can do like hair particles and animation and everything else in Blender, so it's just very, very different. I feel like the pops of light are too bright. What do you think? I think it's just like too bright. Too bright, and maybe it's like too flat. Or maybe I just don't like, it looks good though. Alright, let's, okay, I gotta go with my gut here. So I'm gonna turn this down a little bit, so it's not so flat. I think that'll help. The back wall I'm gonna turn down to 1200. In this light, I'm gonna I'll put to 200. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Let me take it off of 200 though, because we can just chill for now. Just render out one and see what we're looking like. And yes, Blender takes a lot of, I like that a lot better. Blender takes a lot of patience. Insane amount of patience. Okay, so the only thing I'm seeing is I think I want to make the little fruit pudgy. I think I want to make the fruit pudgy a little less glossy. But I think that's it. I think I like it. So that's the only thing that I wanted to do. Let's take this and make it a little more rough. And it'd be kind of nice if the accent maybe had a little bit of an emission. Let's see what it looks like. Let's give it a shot. Let's make it green. Let's up the strength a little bit. Make it a little more interesting. What color actually is the background? I use two backgrounds. Oh, looks like they're completely white. So you know what I'll do? Let's render out one image and then we'll save it. And then I'll do a gray. I might do a turntable with the gray. And then I'll do the dark. But maybe I should finish this up tomorrow so I can go to bed. I need to get my sleep. Oh man, I say that looks pretty good, and I also say okay so a lot in the beginning of whatever I'm trying to think of, like what I'm supposed to do next. Oh, I say like so a lot. I'm like, I'll do this like so. It's kind of like weird stuff that when you think about it, you're like, it's so weird to like say that. But it is what it is. So let's save this as, where am I saving it? Blender project files, users. I want to save it. Oh, that's right. Blender doesn't let me save where I want to save it. Blender project file. Let's go up to animation link, and we'll just make a new folder of Monster 107. We'll make a new folder in here called images. I usually make a folder. Sometimes I have it linked to my MacBook Pro, so I can just bring the folders back and forth, but it's so hard to like map the networks from a PC to Mac. It was working for a while, then I updated, and then it didn't work, and super annoying. Okay, so let's turn these gray. So we'll make this one whatever that is. Let's take this. It's also really hard going back and forth with a Mac keyboard and a PC keyboard. It's a nightmare. Oh, and then I have to take the background, and match that color. Okay, beautiful. I think I'm gonna like that better. I feel like I need some light in the front though. The front looks very, very dark, right? Now we do have front fill, but I don't necessarily want too much light on him. I think I might want it just pointing down, but that actually doesn't look too bad. Let's see without, with, without, with. Okay, so maybe I like it. Maybe we'll just put it further away. Okay, let's render this and see what we get. See what kind of quality we get. I think it looks good. I always like the gray. For some reason the gray always just feels better to me. Just feels pretty. Okay, I like it. Image, save. I think it looks good. Oh, I didn't even save it to Monster 107 B. This is B. I gotta change the other one to A at some point in time. Okay, so I'm gonna save because I like this one, and then I'm gonna save incremental, and this will wind up being the dark one. So let's turn the world off. We'll turn the world off. I love it already. The back wall we can turn off. Excuse me, I forgot to hit the mute button. I can't say your name, but I appreciate the kind words. Bjorn, I appreciate you as well for watching my silly streams. When I clucking away, even though I need to go to bed. I might not even get too crazy with this. I kind of like it just as is, you know? Like, I don't even know if I need too much extra light. If I turn the front fill off, then it is quite dark. What if let's see if I move it a little bit so that it's a little darker on that side. I think I like it. So now it's dark. Let's just see if we were to change the color of the floor to maybe like something a little warmer. Like, what if it was this? The reason why I don't have these the same color is because, or the same material, I should say. I don't have them the same material because the backdrop, I don't want lights and stuff to shine off of it. I don't want it to be glossy, but I want the floor to be glossy. I know I can do that. I know I can do the same thing within one plane. I know I can set the faces, but I didn't do it for this one, and it is what it is. I didn't do it for this one because I'm a butt monkey. Okay. You know what I haven't done in a while? I haven't whatever this is called. You do the scale thingy. I can't remember what that's called. I think I like this. I think I like this as is. Let's render this puppy. Oh boy. I'm gonna try to go to sleep by 2:30. Like his skin looks a little shiny, does it not? It looks like a little shiny. I don't know why. Why does it look a little shiny? I don't really want it to be. You know, because like it can be shiny if I want it to be shiny. If we wanted to do some ice cream, we can do ice cream. But I don't want it to be ice cream. I'm not feeling like ice cream. I do love ice cream though, but not right now. So we're just going to render you. Can't help but to play around with the lights really quick and just make sure it's what we want. Oh, do we want it a little bit like more in the front? What are we thinking? What are we thinking, folks? We're just gonna render. We're just gonna render. I keep scratching my arm on my stupid desk. Did you guys do your taxes? Good night, Rock. Appreciate you swinging by. Sweden. I love it. 7:08 in the morning. Yeah. I like it. I've never been to Sweden. I've been to Austria, Germany, Norway. So I've been to Scandinavia, but just not Sweden. I've been to the Czech Republic and I guess that's it. Yeah, and I think I said Austria. Austria, Germany, Czech Republic, Norway. So this will be C. So I'll save that image. This is actually saving quite quick. So let's X this. We'll save it. I'm going to open recent. Oh, it named it. I'm going to wait. I have to remember that it named it the wrong thing. So let's go ahead and bring up our timeline. Okay, so this will be the timeline. Okay, let me set origin to geometry, snap cursor to selected, add an empty. I'm going to add a cube, and then we'll move the empty up here. We'll take the fruit pudge and the cube, we'll parent it together. Cube transform, fine. Put it to the first frame. This can be like this. Then we'll go to the last frame, and this will be 360. Okay, or whatever that is. Hello? 360. And we'll do I. And then we'll move this. Oh, it's on 171 already, isn't it? 171. No, I think I want it to be 170. I want the thing to be on 171. Let's go back to this and make sure that this is correct. Oh, that is correct. Okay. Okay, so let's just see. Whoops. Wrong one. The only annoying thing is that it's not spinning in the middle of the stupid thing. It's spinning in the front. Why? I'm just gonna get rid of it. Why would you not be in the center? Why are you gonna make my life? Center of mass. Okay, let me make sure that it's better. Snap. Cursor to selected. Add. The cursor is where the empty goes. That's why I always add the cursor where I want the empty to go. Control Z. Let's go back to make sure that it's looking forward. Let's go back to the first frame. And now we'll add the empty. Okay, we'll move it up a little bit. Move it back here. Okay, 1 is 0. We'll go here. We'll go. I can probably just do 361, but I'm not sure. 360. And we'll move this over once. 171. We'll move this here. Oh wait, this looks like oh, that's interpolation mode, Bezier. Okay, I'm going to select. I just want to go back to my graph editor and see if I can fart around with these. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we did. So now I want another window with the timeline. That's way better. Oh, it's way too fast. Oh well. I'm too tired. We're going to go ahead and save this. Let's make sure we have a place for it to go. So we'll tap here. Blender box, animation link, Monster 107. And we'll make this gray TT for turntable. Accept. So we need to check the size is at 100. That's good. Let's check out 300. That's fine. I don't need it that high. Use GPU. I don't think we need motion blur. Does anyone know if you use motion blur for a turntable? I really don't know. I don't think I can see the difference. I don't think I've ever really used it for a turntable. I don't think it makes that much sense to use it for a turntable. Standard, medium, high contrast. That's fine. Okay, now I usually go here and just make sure all the lights are on that are supposed to be on. Okay. Okay, we'll save, and then we'll just render these. Render animation, and then it's going to render a bunch of those. And tomorrow I will have I'll probably post the time lapse on Instagram. So if you are here in this stream, make sure you swing by Instagram and say hello on tomorrow's post. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on the live stream. I'm really trying to do more of them because otherwise it's just me sitting here talking to myself while I do this. So I figured I might as well get my button gear and hit record in OBS, which is the streaming software I use to stream. And I have an ice pack under my laptop so the fans don't start blowing and then it gets too loud. But yeah, so we're already on frame 3, a bunch to go, but I'll post the turntable and the time lapse of this tomorrow. So thank you all, I appreciate it. And maybe tomorrow, if I have some time, we'll create another monster in Nomad. I'll either do it on live stream or I'll pre-record it. And either way, it'll be on YouTube, so you'll be able to see it. All right, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. War, people coming in at the last minute. I love it. All right, have a good night, y'all, or a good day. Shout out to Sweden.